Hey everybody, welcome to XP Weekly. I am one of the creators and showrunners of Experience Points. My name is Timothy, but I'm not alone today. I'm here with...
You're never alone. My name is Kate Ingy, and I'm the other showrunner of Experience Points.
Where's that voice coming from? Oh, hi Kate. I see you down there. Oh, what fun we have. You've probably watched the other two commentaries by now. It'd be pretty weird if you didn't. But, in case you haven't, we're going to do some commentary for episodes 9 to 12. The last 4 episodes of XP Season 2. Are you excited to watch these episodes, Kate?
Always.
Okay. Do you have some secret insights to tell people about these episodes?
I am sure I do.
Okay, great. Because if we didn't have that, that would be kind of pointless. Why are we doing this commentary?
Well, because we're fun to hang out with, so I feel like...
Well, that's definitely true. That's inarguably true. Yeah, for sure. Great. So we're going to start with episode 9. You want to get that episode queued up there?
Yep.
Catherine, let's do it.
It's going. There we are. It needs a minute.
Just give it a minute, everybody.
Just calm down. Please.
Can we just calm down for a second?
Okay.
It really needs a
here we
minute.
go.
Oh yes, we're coming in with the applause, which I feel like is the sitcom equivalent of like starting an episode or starting a scene with like everyone laughing, right? That like there's a joke you didn't hear and it's like very difficult to start there. But actually, because the way we shot it, it was pretty simple. We just like filmed straight through, right?
Yeah.
We did 8 and 9 as one block.
The whole thing? Did we? Or did we do...
I thought we did because I felt like that helped keep the energy up, right?
Yeah,
That's why
I couldn't remember. I know we did that for a couple of them, but I think that was only for ones that were like half episodes or like up until a break. But maybe
we didn't then. I thought we did because I remember having to memorize it as one huge monster chunk.
It's
and
possible.
Being really intimidated.
They all just feel that way, so I can't.
That's true.
I can't remember.
Maybe it wasn't these two, but we definitely did that at least once where we just shot 2 episodes back to back.
Yeah, I guess it was probably this one. It makes sense. Like I know at least we would have done the first part of it.
Right, because it wouldn't have been 9 and 10 because there's a time jump there, right?
Yeah.
Like
Maybe it was the very end of 8 through 9 because it was like post-fight, possibly. I don't know.
That's probably what it was. It probably wasn't the entire episode. You're right, because well, 8 is all pretty high energy, but because it starts with the puzzle. I don't know. The point is that it was very helpful to not start from a dead stop right, and go right in.
Yeah, that would have been weird.
Very weird. I'm going to clear my throat. This is going to be gross, so let me mute my microphone.
Great.
That's 12 damage, and each one is pushed back 10 feet.
And that's half damage for the leader. Since
Yeah. That happened a lot on XP. Just like
A lot, yeah.
constant expelling of things from people's bodies.
Oh, wait, what did I come back to? Let's see, where are we in this fight?
What's my fucking brother like?
Oh yeah, right. This is sort of the accidental PvP. And that was part of it for me too, was that Jordan spends the first half of the season hitting everybody else, so like he had to get hit by somebody at least once, like in retribution. But then what I think is nice is you see his reaction to it is he's accepting of it. He's very into it, right? He's like, yeah, that's cool. Do it, man. Smack me.
Yeah.
He's proud of having only 1 hit point,
Yeah.
which again is one of those moments of like, maybe he's not such a jerk. Maybe he's happy to play along.
Yeah, just happy to play.
Yeah. And it sets him up dying a little bit too, right? That like he takes all this damage and he's like, I'm cool with it. If he was really worried about his character dying, then he wouldn't make a big sacrifice play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, God, yeah. That table slam.
God.
He went so hard the first time, and that might have been the take. And then every other time I had to be like, listen, the legs on this table like are designed to fold under so that it can like be stored under a couch or something. Like you can't hit it.
They're made out of whispered promises.
Also, like no one's actually drinking out of those cups, so like you can't lie to everybody and just have them spill everywhere.
Right.
You need to be careful.
That's true. Yeah.
Spoiler.
How close am I to the combat?
Spoiler. Yeah, there's nothing in those green cups. And they just sat there, right? Like they weren't even. No one's. Props.
Yeah.
Oh no, they are brought in.
Elisa uses drinks from it last episode, and
Whichever one is close
Okay.
basically
Maybe
it.
I'm wrong.
So that's fine. Yeah.
Silly.
But I was
useless
very
props.
surprised that like his table slam and lots of other things that happened didn't ever peak on sound. So thanks, Jonathan, for keeping
Yeah.
control of the situation.
Right. I think, yeah, was that because if we use that first take, then that's really impressive that he was like prepared for it. Maybe we rehearsed it, but I feel like that didn't happen very much.
And it could have been just like the other microphone that's like in the room, but like neither of those like spiked, which was just like cool to me.
That's great. Yeah, we had really good audio. I feel like for the most part. I mean, you would know better than I did, but it was really nice.
A
to have
dream
that.
to edit with.
Hi. So you send them out and they go scuttling across.
Fox has some thoughts.
It's difficult terrain, right? Because of the entangle. So they'll get there next round.
But really, again, the sound and those good microphones are all thanks to one. Well, Jonathan, yes, but really, at the end of the day, are thanks to our patrons, right?
Yeah, you got us that delicious sound that made me so happy in editing.
That's why it sounds so good. Fox has a lot of thoughts about like the industry and like how important sound is.
Yeah,
right.
He's patting. Oh yeah, that was my very sad mistake of a missing clip. Just then.
Oh yeah, right.
At the bottom of the screen.
That's cool. It's fine.
Well, okay, because all of the dice rolls, like half the time, people are either rolling too fast or like they pick it up or they didn't realize it's one that they needed. So like most of the time, I like get the roll and then it's just like single frames of just that same shot repeating into oblivion to just like keep it on the screen for however long.
But I feel like that usually works out pretty well. I feel like that's kind of the advantage of it, is that you can kind of do a still because there should be no motion on the table.
It's true. It's just that's one of those instances where I meant to put a screen grab of just the blank paper ahead of time and I never did. So
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's more than enough.
There's an Anshani right there. Anshani.
Considering your height, the entrails spill all over you. You get to see what
for as good as he was at continuity, Steven, like he moved around so much that like anytime it was his coverage, Adam had to actually like run a camera and like tilt up and down.
Yeah, right. Move around a little bit. Yeah. Everybody else is a lot more stationary. Yeah. He just bouncing about. Yeah, for sure.
Acrobatics to jump across is at 24.
Describe your kung fu.
Let's see. Where are we? What's going on?
Wall run up.
Oh, she's doing more kung fu. Yeah. Kapow.
Make your attack roll.
So yeah, again, we're kind of seeing the party working as a well-oiled machine here, like a little glimpse of the party they can be, right? When everyone's feeding off of each other's energy, and it's a much more positive experience.
Yeah, just moves a lot faster.
The structure is interesting too because like they have a lot of these problems early on, and those problems kind of bubble up, and then they end up getting resolved around halfway through, and then there's still 4 more episodes. This is kind of the payoff for the emotional tension in the last 2 episodes. 10 and 11 basically are conclusion to the plot in game. Like they're not necessarily as related to the interpersonal drama. Now that they work together, they can go and solve the big mystery. Normally you would build it to a point where they would resolve their emotional drama by the end as opposed to kind of in the middle-ish. So it was kind of funky figuring out how to pace out those beats. I think it works, but it's a little unorthodox in terms of character arc. Yeah, that's fun. That's a very Stephen Paul thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? Is the
snowballing off of each other.
Noises at each other's. Yeah.
Megan had to shut it down a few times. It was really funny.
Yeah, there he goes again. Silliness.
The sandfolk that you pummeled goes limp and crashes to the sand.
Nine Roads is crushing it
right now. Alright, next up is Thorvek. Still poisoned, just Thunder Wave.
He actually gets to play.
Look at him.
Not sure what to do.
What a good boy.
I'm out of spell.
Now I'm just like watching the episode. I'm not paying attention to the commentary.
Yeah. I like.
Yeah, you can tell they're all sitting on chairs. We use dice for them to roll. You know, these are the insights you're only gonna get here in the commentary. Everyone's wearing clothes too.
Oh yeah, that was a big one. That was important on this season that people wear clothes.
Wear clothes.
Fails that. What's the damage?
I'm looking.
I don't know how many people comment below if you've paused during any of Alan's die rolls to try and read all of his like.
That's 6.
Oh, my
little
stats.
Stat things. That was one.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on that stuff, and then like we almost never see it, which is fine. Like I'm not like this needs more screen time. Like I didn't expect it to, but like I get in this weird loop where I'm like, oh, but what if they pause it? What if they pause it on this shot? What if they pause it on this shot? It's like the entire back of a screen is all like actual things that you would put on a screen, but like you really only see like the bottom corner of a few of them, right?
I think it matters anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good. Yeah, it's good to have that. You don't want it to be so flimsy that the pause button can destroy your verisimilitude. I hate that word. I always try to say it, and then I never get it right.
Verisimilitude?
That is enough.
Yeah, that one.
What does this look like?
Kind of frantic, I feel.
So, okay, cool. You can say it, and I'm just the idiot.
Comment below if you can say verisimilitude. Leave your own video.
I like the idea. Yeah, they would just write the word verisimilitude and be like, "See, I can, easy."
To the ground.
Yeah.
Says the only sandfolk remaining, the leader is restrained.
Oh yeah, that's the Bone Club. That's the caster in Melee moment, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm not good at this. What do I do? I'm out of spells.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Stats for Scorpion?
Attacks at +2.
Does
1
she have
piercing
stats
damage.
for
Scorpion.
And it's a little bit of her. Oh yeah, here's Scorpion.
28 poison.
This is one of those things where this is an example, narratively,
Only in the left.
of like Alan putting aside sort of what he would want to do, right? Like his plan for the encounter. He has this big bad, this Anshani leader, who just gets hosed the entire time. And then rather than like having him persist or having him be, oh, he escapes and does cool stuff, he sees the direction the party is headed and he sacrifices his own plans in order to make what's more fun for them happen. I don't know if we're quite to that point. Yeah, she's rolling damage. We're at the attack. You even see a little moment here. He looks down and sees how many hit points it has left and erases it. Which, again, if you're going to talk about how much is Alan culpable, right, he needs to kind of learn a lesson, too, that it's more important that they have fun necessarily than that it goes the way you want it to go, right? It's kind of a little example of that. You're trying to make Bashara feel cool about this thing that she essentially forgot about. This is the kind of thing that I, as a DM, really get annoyed with like, oh, I have an animal buddy, and I haven't talked about them the entire time, but now here they are, and can they do something? Like, well, you didn't really earn it, but that's not necessarily important. What's important is that Bashara has a good time.
Which I think is an interesting thing for Alan too, because he seems so about like the game and the structure and all of that stuff. So like kind of fudging that at the end seems, I don't know, like
Right.
not weirdly disingenuous, because again it is about the game and like as
Right.
long as
Well,
I don't know. So I just always thought that was like an interesting choice too. Like a
He
good
grows,
character.
he learns. Yeah, It's a contrast to how he normally acts, right? It doesn't mean that he will constantly surrender to every player's whim, but it shows that he's willing to do that. But they also never know, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's something that's entirely secret.
Yeah.
So Thorvald just walks up and in one clean motion just
And also, partially, I have to be honest, that, like, it was one of those things where I really liked the description of Bashara having a scorpion, and then I was like, oh, we never used the scorpion. We gotta justify this somehow. And so having the characters forget and then having the scorpion do something consequential was like, there, okay. Now I'm allowed to have my scorpion in the first scene. Oh, I think this is the end, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of a, like, short rest. And this kind of thing was one of those, again, like, let's talk about the script. But this is one of those things where you sometimes had to have a scene where Bashara, I tried to elide over this as much as possible, but Sam doesn't know how to spend hit dice and wouldn't know how to spend hit dice. And so if the characters are going to rest, they need to have more hit points for the big encounter with Thumhotep, but how would Sam know how to do that? Right? Like, so do you just elide over it? You could potentially, but every once in a while it was like, we actually have to have someone explain to Sam how this works, or else continuity-wise it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of, we do the simulog, that way we're not really focused on it, but it technically happens in the background.
I feel like Sam, it's a tie between Sam and Alan and who has the end line.
That's true. Sam gets a bunch of them,
Yeah.
for sure.
Which is fine.
I mean, obviously Alan does, because, you know, he's the Dungeon Master, but... Yeah, I feel like it's almost always Alan, actually.
Vanessa has at least one, if not two.
Oh, yeah, we have to solve it, right?
And then I guess
Yeah.
just like the landing, clapping
I don't
one.
think-
But
Oh, yeah, I don't think Jordan or Kelsey ever get
no,
one.
they don't.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching episode 9 with us, guys. I'm trying to think of a good question to ask them. What do we ask
Well,
the peeps?
I would be curious how people feel about like the scorpion choice.
Like fudging,
Yeah, how do
stuff
people
like
feel
that,
on
right?
that?
Do you,
Like, do you agree?
do you fudge rolls? Do you fudge hit points? What do you do?
you
What would you have
just
done?
eat fudge?
Yeah, do you like fudge? Tell us about fudge. Comment in the doobly-doo about
Yeah.
fudge.
Let us know.
Great. Let's roll right into episode 10.
You got it.
Baby. I like 10. 10 might be my favorite narrative episode.
Okay.
I've
but it's also a good episode for Alan, so I'm probably biased.
Another time jump. Someone's eating the popcorn. Yes.
Oh,
That hasn't happened since episode 4.
Glowing ibis.
Episode. Does he take a bite in 4? I
Vanessa
forgot.
does. She's eating it during the
Oh.
I would pizza.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because we had to be stupidly strategic about when people ate popcorn.
Yeah, continuity, right?
Yeah.
Like it dictates so much.
Yeah.
Strength athletics check.
And it's one of those things too with XP. You have such a like
I don't know.
cornucopia of props. It feels like, and especially because the characters are always just sitting there, right? Anytime you can incorporate them, just to have some slight variation on what's going on.
Fine. Taking out my axe.
Stone door, don't forget.
Firmly reestablishing that like even though Jordan's fun, he could sometimes be a bit of a dick, and here he is just
Yep.
not helping the party and not participating and doing his own thing, and then taking credit for it when they solve it, right?
Slamming on a door. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sparks fly. Your axe dents.
But the party at this point almost is somewhat embraced. Like, this is who he is. This is what he's going to do. Like, it doesn't impede our fun if he goofs off.
Any minute
What
now.
a metaphor for his life as a character. Am
His
I right?
whole life.
Man.
Oh my gosh, so
Ugh.
deep.
Like right now.
Ugh.
Ooh, intelligent.
Yeah, and then it's Vanessa that actually solves it, right? That figures that out.
Actually,
Uh-huh.
I would say you could roll wisdom survival. Same as before. Yeah.
Oh.
Much better for
Just going with it.
I like the issue of bond. Sorry,
Sorry,
I
I
was
don't know.
thinking. Oh,
I'm just,
God.
just be all professional.
It was just. This is unrelated, but it's that wet tongue sound, right? Like, whenever I like record stuff for Yog, I always have to like take out my like mouth smacks. Like, I'm like, oh no, get out of here. Yucky. Oh, here we go.
Ooh, Elisa's face is so good in this whole sequence.
Mm-hmm.
It's good anyway, but
Yeah, it's good neutrally, right? But again, like she's very. She really, you get the sense she really thinks she's standing in front of this door, and that anything might come out of there.
Yeah.
Like the way she looks at Alan,
Yeah.
like that she's actually opening a magical portal when it's a stupid piece of styrofoam
yeah.
or a poster board. Yeah,
There's a
God, she's great.
as gears rusted with age.
No, now just watching her. That's so funny. Yeah, we talk about this a lot about her like micro expressions that
Yeah.
like you can watch an Elisa take and she will experience like this roller coaster of emotion.
Pretty much
over the course of, like-
every episode I sent to you for notes on, like, there's at least one note is like, Elisa at X time
Yeah,
code.
Slightly ajar. Yes,
funny.
your axe blows do seem to be inches.
It's just like every tiny little like development, like, oh, you hear a sound, huh? But it's a good sound. Oh,
Yeah.
but you're not sure if it's a good. Like, it just, yeah, her face is just so malleable. It's great.
Nice work.
I like when he screams,
doing
but he's like frantic screaming, so his voice cracks. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, right. Ah!
I follow.
I told you, fuckers!
The doors lead before you. You sort of pass Thorvar on your way. Still
What a silly boy.
with his axe.
Oh,
What? No, thank you.
all of a sudden it's
No, you're so strong, Thorvar. Why don't you tell me?
yeah, right. No, thank you, Thorvar.
Princess Thorvar?
Bashar just goes right past him. Like, gets him a look.
But they've just, now they're instead of being mad at Jordan, they're role playing,
Yeah.
right? Like I just walk right by you, I don't even care. Yeah. Look, they can be friends.
Wow.
Why can't we be friends?
The massive doors are slightly ajar. I'll still need a strength athletics to push them.
Oh, how fun. Your shirt's open! Dungeon Master!
Yeah.
What?
He's the real dungeon master. Oh, we're not quite there yet. That's next episode, but we're gonna talk about Steven's ridiculous joke.
Yep,
That threw me.
still good.
Stand back, everyone.
No, I don't think it's that good. I disagree.
It's episode
but I'm very biased.
12 or 11
It's
is
11.
pretty good.
I think it's 11. Yeah.
When he's fighting Athomhotep, though, too. That one.
Oh yeah.
He-
That's 11. Yeah. Uh-huh.
He went to professional miming school
He did. Uh huh.
for this.
Anyone else?
Mine's a bit-
He is Sarah Mountjoy Pepka.
Working together, all four of you can.
That's a reference you will all get.
Sarah?
Uh,
You stand there, mother.
Sarah, do you get
Sarah?
it? That's a friend of ours who is a mime.
Consider
Yeah.
the chamber beyond. Past that great stone threshold, it is
But yeah, there's also, we're not quite there, but this is also the transition, again, as I talked about, between like the sort of party dynamic into the plot stuff, where like the tone changes pretty substantially here. It goes from silly, goofy Adventure Times into this sort of, oh shit, we didn't really think about what's on the other side of this door. Why are we going through here?
Unfathomable
You see the,
size.
snowflake necklace.
Unfathomable.
Yeah.
Shine outward.
Fathomless, I guess you could also say, but unfathomable is a word, I think. Maybe I made up a word.
I said it.
Oh, I thought you were saying that like it was in the scene
No.
that it's described. Oh, okay. Are you gonna look it up?
Yeah.
Please look it up.
Yeah, it's a word.
Yeah,
Adjective.
it is. I thought so. The way, oh, for sure. The way you said it made it sound like it was something you were quoting it. I was
Oh.
like, did I describe it as unfathomable?
No. Okay. Never mind. It's not important. The dictionary definition or example is really funny. Like they use in a sentence. Anyway.
This has a lot to do, I think, with experience points. We were talking about wet tongue sounds and the definition of unfathomable. But yeah, we're transitioning into the dark world at this point. Into again, this is one thing that I always like about experience points. And I think that the viewers do not like about it, but I'm going to keep doing it. Is that you never get to see what happens in the game. That like it's all experience points is all about setting up a cool like premise for a game. Like, oh man, that's crazy, and then you never go back to it. So you just constantly wonder like, what would they do with Lady Nightspear, and what happens once Athame-Hotep escapes? Like, you don't come back to these characters necessarily. You don't come back to this campaign. More importantly, so it's always about like asking the most possible dynamic question that you can in the session, and then ending it, and then never telling anyone what happens. I was like, I don't know, that's maybe cruel, but that makes people interested, right? Like, that sucks them in. The minute you tell them, oh, what's this? I love that split screen. That's a yummy one. Yeah, is that have we ever done a totally 4 dice and nothing else split screen for this season?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was one earlier.
Never
But
mind.
not that cool. So
It's very
it's
cool.
hard to do, like, there's a lot of all party roles in these next couple of episodes, especially when they're running. So I'm just like, so eventually I just kind of stopped showing the roles, like, every other time or so, because I was just like, who cares?
Right.
I can't make it interesting anymore.
You've earned our,
Like,
like,
you
don't think we're...
Yeah, you guys get it. We're all rolling.
I think there are a couple of those in season 1. Not nearly so many, but I can recall at least a couple like perception checks or stealth checks that everybody rolls, and it's just the numbers. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to fucking fight me?
For literally no reason.
He's laughing. He's so proud.
And that's one of those things where, like, probably what Alan was planning was just, like, when they enter the room, this thing happens, but because he shouts, he's like, well, I'm going to make it Thorvald's fault, right? Like, right, like...
The chamber's at least 1,000 feet wide.
And this is where you see a little bit of this Alan in season 1, of the, like, super purple prosy, like, oh, man, I came up with this cool thing, and now you guys are going to listen to me as I describe it, because it's so cool.
Rises up to the surface from
Shit.
something.
Oh, shit.
Something hundreds of feet.
So, Athame-Hotep as a concept is based off of an Egyptian monster named Amet, which is the monster that eats hearts in the afterworld. Like Anubis and Tot like weigh someone's heart when they die, and if it's heavier than a feather, they feed the heart to this beast that has the head of a crocodile and the paws of a lion and the butt of a hippopotamus. The like rear end of the hippopotamus. So I wanted to obviously have it be based off of that, but then rearrange the parts to make it unique. And I actually think hippos are way scarier than crocodiles. So the idea of it having a big, horrible hippo head, made it like kind of weirder and grosser looking. Hippos have gross heads. And then you get the big crocodile tail, and then instead of lion claws, we did leopard. But it's obviously based on mythology. But yeah, mechanically, as Kelsey points out, it's meant to essentially be the Tarrasque. If you think Athame-Hotep is cool, like a cool monster that you might want to use in your campaign, you can go to the Dungeon Masters Guild right now and you can download Eater of Kingdoms, which is a supplement that we released that has stats for Athame-Hotep as a CR30 monstrosity. It was distinct from the Tarrasque. It has different abilities. It's not just a carbon copy. It's similar, but if you want a little bit more flavorful version of a giant kaiju monster, you can put Athame-Hotep in your game.
We apologize to any hippos out there watching. Like, we don't think hippo heads are ugly. It's just...
I like the idea of that, that like experience points creator mired in controversy has to walk back. I have some of my best friends are hippos.
Spotted fur tipped.
My first wife.
520.
Yeah, my first wife it didn't work out, but that doesn't.
That just had nothing to do with how she looked. So.
Right, exactly.
Or
I
just
support
different
the
people,
hippo community.
different species. Yeah.
Right. We're just different species. She wallows in mud all day long. You know, that's just not my thing. She's a dirty, horrible monster animal. I mean, oh god, shit. I'm back into it. Spitting newspaper.
Well, what do we do?
Anyway.
The 30s. Hi, experience points.
Oh, thank Christ, that's a 23.
Alright, so this is oh shit, let's run moment.
The thing, right?
Dorvar?
Not dodging. He's gonna stand there and he's gonna.
False panic.
I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack, but also still roll that dexterity.
You're crazy, dude.
To see whether or not the paw hits you.
You're crazy.
Gotcha. The dex save with advantage because danger sense is.
Steven will cite this as one of the things that he likes about the way I Dungeon Master, is that there's usually not a lot of, like, if a player wants to make a bad decision, I will roll with that bad decision and not bat an eye, but then still deliver the consequences anyway. He can tell a couple stories from the Curse of Strahd campaign, one of which involves a dead monkey, in which I just sort of like, okay, great, well then just make a dexterity save, and we'll see how you do, and you can make it roll your attack. Okay, well you take 75 points of damage, and like there's no sense of like, maybe you shouldn't do this, like, you understand the situation you're in. So, here you go. This is a perfect example of that. 29 bludgeoning, and he's thrown 15 feet clear.
Explosion into rubble. You lash out with your axe, Thorvar.
Boom.
It embeds in the creature's leopard-like paw, and then you are thrown, battered by rubble, 15 feet through the air. You take
These episodes, there's just like a little less to say because it's just gameplay.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
And again, all their problems are sorted out, and we've like talked about
Yeah.
how they
9 points of damage.
how he shot it. Oh yeah, I remember having to do all the math on that.
So down. Crazy down. I had 10 hit.
Rolling out. Okay, so it has to be, if he takes 29, it's because he made his save, so it's got to be like
Then no, not
59 essentially, right? Or 60 or whatever. And then how does it equal out? And what are we rolling? And then yeah,
It still gets pretty lucky on those rolls too. Like there's a lot.
He gets really lucky.
lot.
As I realized that it's a little bit under par in terms of, because I had to have him die. I had to have him get like within striking distance of death, but not actually die. So I think I had come up with a number I needed, and then didn't really do the math, and then realized like, oh crap. Considering how much damage he takes later when he does die, it has to be the same roll,
Death save, please.
right? Like. So yeah, it's D12s I think are the damage dice I'm using, because that's cooler and 12s never get used, and he's a horrible monster. So
Failures, and Thorvar,
yeah, it's
He's
fine.
an ugly hippo-headed monster, guys.
Wait, oh god. Kate Engie and hot water.
In seclusion.
You do a bunch of like photo ops with hippos.
Approaches Thorvar.
Try to like look at me.
Casts her last first level spell.
Silly.
Cure wounds.
I'm so mad about healing him. I love it.
Yeah. But again, it's the reverse, right? Like she comes
Yeah.
around. Do you think it excuses his behavior? Like, do you think it allows him? No, I guess he dies, right? But he dies heroically. Like, I wonder if this is actually like weird Jordan apologism or whatever. That like, you should be a dick because then people will heal you and you'll go out like a hero. What is the unintended message behind this? What are we telling players?
He just
How
Ferris
should they
Buellered his
behave?
way through this game.
He definitely. That's an excellent analogy. Yeah. And Elisa is Cameron, right? Like the hard worker who like gets punished and gets beaten up and uses her spell slots to save him.
To the eastern exit.
Yeah. What have we done?
Yeah.
We've just enabled Jordan. That's all we did.
All the Jordans out there.
Oh no.
Its head in one paw surface, the monster throws another paw into the air and slams it into the ground. Once again, the whole chamber quakes. And the
Yeah. Here we
players,
go.
they
Here's the
run.
purple pros.
An awkward moment of stumbling. This done, the creature yawns open its colossal jaws, revealing teeth as tall as towers, and it roars.
Like my brain can't like imagine the size of it, which is fun.
Yeah, it's tough.
Your
Uh-huh.
trembles, your bones.
And I'm never like 100% clear on exactly how big it is. Like it's the size of a city essentially. Like its tail is described as being the length of a city block. So it's like a small town walking around on 4 legs. Yeah,
Like I can't. My brain can't.
it's hard to. Yeah, for
It
sure.
can't.
And I suppose I see what you're saying.
Even is this thing like
Really, even if it's not a sea creature, you just don't like big things.
Well, I know it's less scary that
Oh.
way, but it's just like my brain literally cannot. It's like when I try and think about planets, and I'm like, I actually cannot.
Oh yeah, the
comprehend
size of it.
the
Yeah,
sizes of
Just
things.
like the kaiju of this game.
That's fine.
Having seen these things before,
You should see a doctor about that.
check to try to identify.
All right, religion. Yeah, I got that.
21.
I got an appointment.
I gotta go right now. Put this off long enough.
Eater of kingdoms, the profane beast.
Yeah, right.
Chemish legends
Atham-Hotep.
speak of an avenging monster.
The profane
sent by the
beast of
gods
Chem.
to punish the people
Paul's face.
in dark and decadent ways.
His like fingers
He's never
like crossed.
experienced this before.
Crushed the empire underfoot. It was Atham-Hotep who ran
I still want to start a campaign like this. Now I kind of can't because if anyone play with me, they'd be like, "Oh, is there a giant monster in there?"
sand in its
You know, but like, I feel like it's a good start to a game.
Yeah.
the day the pharaohs
Yeah, it is a good
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
The best.
I could do it because no one would expect that from me.
That's true. You could do it. You could just steal it. That's fine. If anyone wants to, I've heard a couple people say, "Oh, I want to use this." Like somebody in the comments the other day, the first commentary said, "Like, oh, I'm totally ripping off the giant monster chase." I'm like, please,
Oh, yeah.
that would be awesome. I would be very flattered if anyone wants to use any story elements from XP in their games.
crack the rubble where they crack.
That would be
Do
the
it.
highest form of flattery.
And just
Yeah.
work Ashani in there somewhere.
Drains.
Yeah, if you can get Anchani in there.
By the time the party reaches the
Anchani.
exit, it has pulled
Hot, hot.
itself completely from the pit, and you
Hot,
can
hot,
see
hot,
the
hot.
whole monster and its splendor and terror and unimaginable size. Its
Louisa.
crocodile tail is revealed, green
Don't we have the big long blooper of her wanting to run away?
Yeah, that's up.
Is that somewhere? Yeah. Is it up?
I sent it to
Really?
you. I think you posted it a long time ago.
Oh, I don't know if I did. Maybe you sent it to me, but I don't know if I posted it. We should post it. It's great.
hippopotamus head.
I should look and see if you sent it to me. And you probably did, and I just didn't post it because I'm bad. But yeah, there's a blooper if you haven't seen it of Eliza. I think Kelsey has a moment here where she's like, "Can I run? Like, can we run?" And I think in the script it's just like, "I'm running" or "Let's run" or something like that. It's a very like short line. And Elisa's like, "Can I riff on this a little bit?" Because I feel like my character would just want to nope as hard as possible out of here. And she did like like a 15-20 second take of her like, "Nope,
think
fuck
it's-
this. No, I'm gone. I'm out of here."
I think it's earlier,
great.
like when he first emerges, and she's like,
When he
she
first
has like a
emerges,
minute
yeah.
of being like, "I'm gone, I'm out, I leave, I run by."
Nope, fuck this. I'm calling an Uber. Get me out of here. Yeah, it's great. It didn't really work entirely for Kelsey, but it was super
was very funny.
And I think we used. Did we use some
used
of
part
it?
of
I
it.
think we
Yeah,
used a
we
little
used
bit.
a little.
Yeah, we used about half of it or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, we're all sitting there watching. We're like fucking dying.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was good.
It was great. Awesome. That's episode 10, everybody. What is the biggest monster you have ever fought in D&D, or that you've ever like thrown at a party? Comment in the doobly-doo down below about it. I want to hear.
I'm trying
I
to
wanna
think
hear
if
about
it was that whale demigod,
The
or
whale.
was it one of our dinosaurs, dragons,
The whale demigod.
and Mooncrash.
Yeah, you mean like the dragon?
Either the dragon
spun
or
into a
the
whale?
whale in Shoguruk's epic.
Oh yes, that was
That one?
definitely
Okay.
the biggest thing you ever fought. They fought like a huge sort of leviathan beast called the Demon Maw. That was just
Yeah.
like an extra dimensional space inside of a huge sea creature, and they slew it. Yeah, they killed its heart. That was a fun adventure. What about you guys? What's the biggest thing you've ever fought? I threw the Tarrasque at the Junior Adventures League too, but that was much smaller in comparison to
Yeah.
the Demon Maw. Yeah,
Yeah.
Although I don't know if you guys really fought. You beat the Tarrasque. Yeah, you threw the thing in its mouth. Yeah, you beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's a fun adventure. If you haven't seen that adventure, it's because you're not a patron. Why don't you just go be a patron
Wow.
and you could watch the
Yeah.
adventure?
You guys, come
Why
on.
don't you,
Really?
come on,
Jeez.
get it together.
Jeez.
Great. What's next,
Bunch
Kate?
of hippos. It's going to be episode
Whoa,
11.
whoa.
Can I not say that? Okay. It's going to be episode
Come on.
11.
do it.
11.
Okay, all right. Give me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this flashback. So a couple little things. They're playing 3.0 because they're kids. That's Baby Alan. I think he does a great job. You should talk about this scene because I was not here for this.
Yeah, so this was technically the last thing that we shot for XP, and it was this summer,
Who's next?
cutting it kind of close to the premiere of the season, which was fun.
Kinda close.
Surprise secret guesting by Tom Lamel?
Yeah,
Lamel?
I think it's Lommel
He's
is what
a
I've
DJ.
always heard.
All of these kids are wearing shirts that I found at the thrift store. They all decided to wear hats. We were hoping one of them would. I basically put a bunch of 90s stuff. I 90s mommed out this party. And I got like literally every snack I had in the 90s that was still available. And I just put it on a table and I told all these parents, I was like, I'm going to sugar your kids up and I'm going to send them home with you. And they all decided to wear hats,
great.
which was great. And they all had different snacks and they were just like eating like crazy. So continuity is like a little crazy, but I don't really care.
No, yeah.
And they were great. These kids actually all play together. The kid who's playing young Alan is the child of my former boss at B2 Creative Studios, who 2 years ago I was like, hey, in a couple of years, I know your son plays D&D. Do you think that he would maybe want a cameo in my web series? He was like, sure. And then maybe a year later I was like, yeah, so we're getting ready to film season 2. Do you think he would still maybe? And he was like, yeah, I remember.
What a sketchy thing to ask someone.
Yeah.
Does your kid want a cameo in my web series?
I was a D&D web series, like, preface.
I know,
that.
but still, even then, like, of all the dumb things,
I
I'm so happy they said yes. I think it's a great little moment.
And they were super pumped, and, like, they, his mom kind of helped with all of the casting of, like, young Jordan and all that. It was a really, like, fun time.
As the party runs.
Yeah, I was really happy we could do it because we had talked about it for a long time about the possibility of doing sort of a little Stranger Things reference, right, like them as kids, but like it just didn't seem feasible to me. Like not in a, I mean, if we can do it, great, but I was like, it'd be awesome if we can get this, but like let's not hold our breath. And I'm just really happy it came together. Like, it looks great and it totally worked, and like yes, that's the kind of thing you write and then you end up cutting for logistics. And so it was great to actually get together.
I think our crafty budget on that shoot alone, that 4-hour shoot for those kids, was probably like the same as it was for like our 2 weeks with these actors, because I needed to get so much stuff for this birthday party that like doesn't even matter for. But anyway.
Right. Yeah. No, but it's great. It's a great little scene. Anyone who likes 3.0, also there's a lot of dumb little jokes in there for you that spot and listen to 2 different skills and how many ranks you have in skills. Like I had to go back and like look at that shit. It was crazy. Great. Now, so here we are with the mat. Obviously, it wouldn't be experience points if the final encounter didn't have a big mat in it. I think the coverage that you and Adam got of the mat stuff is fucking gorgeous. I'm really happy with it.
Thanks, Adam.
I'm glad that turns out. Well, you helped too. You directed it, right? Like,
but he made it real pretty. And it's nice. It's like fun and interesting now that everyone's on the floor. Eggs, it kind of changed lighting, so that was like maybe a little bit of an issue. But that's okay. It's fun that they're all like here.
Yeah, exactly. And like narratively speaking, in visual, I think this was one of Kate's ideas, was the notion that like if Alan is on the floor, that like maybe have them and they're all above him.
Yeah.
Like what does that look like for status? That they're looking down, so then they all come down to join him.
New round, new checks.
Symbolism.
Dexterity, acrobatics. Let's go.
Let's go. Come on.
But I remember like writing in the outline, like, okay, and then episode 11 is them like running from a Thomhotep. And then like I got to episode 11, I'm like, how do I do this? Like mechanically, not only just mechanically, like, how do I make it make sense, but then like how does it narratively work where it's not just like a bunch of explanation. This is the kind of thing I will put in my games a lot, where it's like not quite a skill challenge, not quite an encounter, like you're not 100% sure how this works. I just did one last night in my game. So yeah, again, as we mentioned last time, if you want to pilfer, please do. It's a fun little way to do this kind of a big cinematic moment.
And I like just like all of their mounting panic together. Like I don't know, we have to do this again.
Right. I started doing the 10 seconds thing in my actual games, which I now like. That was just something I wrote. Like you have 10 seconds to decide, and like actually just sitting here going like, how many seconds do you have left? It's like really fun and like psychological warfare. Like it's a good time.
Well, it makes sense though. Like.
Yeah. Oh, I normally that's the kind of thing in D&D where like, oh, it's a free action, so you can take as long as you want. Like if you want to build that sense of, oh my god, run.
Yeah.
It's cool. Boom, boom, boom. There he is.
Chamber starts.
Oh man, we had this marker. Shit. We tried to shoot this one day, and you can kind of tell that marker is like dying, and we had to get a new marker to shoot some of this.
We had to wait a day. It was kind of a bummer.
Because of a marker, like the marker was like, I'll be in my trailer.
It's all this time that we spent.
Yeah, that's a good die roll on there. I like that with like they just appear next to him. That's a cool one. Paul's like in the fetal position, like rocking back and forth. And it was fun too, trying to come up with like, you know, these little character moments in here where they're running and the stairs collapse, right?
one moment you're leaping
And because you had
stairs,
previously
the
had
staircases
Nine Roads run back to help Thorvar get out of the storm, narratively, then what do you have to do? You have to have, or sorry, Thorvek get out of the storm. You have to have Thorvek run back to rescue Nine Roads and have a little payoff moment there.
20 on mine.
9 roads.
I really like how Megan handles this episode. I think she has some really good reactions to stuff. Like just watching it, she's like pulling apart her bangs. Like, she just has some really fun moments of just like.
Yeah,
I mean, they
she's
all
great.
do, but like her in particular, 'cause she's just like so exasperated, and people are like, "Is she going to be mad, or are we okay?"
Right.
I don't care. I do it. Okay. Thorvek runs back to rescue you, 9 roads. Do you say anything as you pull them back onto the stairs?
Oh, I'm tempted to say I killed Mufasa, but no, helpful. So I won't say that.
But that's not
I'll
helpful.
say,
Yeah, you want to sprinkle in the odd pop culture reference. You don't want it to be like inundated with them. But you know, we had fun with the Search Your Feelings, you know it to be true from season 1. Like every once in a while. See, they're teasing, they're joking. They like each other, it turns
It's
out.
good. They're okay.
Yeah, they okay.
I had to be like, I know you guys aren't dating, but like, I need you to be a little more coupley occasionally.
They're a little more
A
affectionate.
little bit,
Yeah,
just a tiny bit occasionally. To show it,
Yeah,
to
they're
show
in
it's
public
okay.
how-
You know, that you're okay.
14. Thorvar is unconcerned. Thorvar got a 24.
Hey, that's 4 successes. The group moves 8 squares.
Yeah, I think you do some good work with some of these split screens, man. Keeping the dice in there.
They all just have really natural, like, happy reactions too, which is fun, like, in filming it, because every take was that way, and I was just like, God, it feels like it's fresh every time. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's great. They're good. They're good performers.
Cuties.
Little cuties. Cutie patooties.
Mummies?
Here comes the... Oh, here
my
comes
God,
the
my God.
mummies.
Billions of mummies come tumbling down through cracks in the ceiling, and you're all drowning in mummies now.
You're fucking joking.
Sand in great gouts and fountains floods.
Jordan's so ready
sad.
to fight.
You're all
Yeah, of course,
That's
obviously
fine.
it's not mummy.
I didn't really think they were mummies. Do you imagine that too? Like, okay, cool. Here's 40 mummies. Fight your way through these mummies. Also, a fountain type. Like,
Yeah.
crazy. That's entirely for Kate. Like, I would not have put that joke in there if Kate hadn't responded so strongly to the first Mummies joke. I'm like, oh, we can do another Mummies joke. That's fine.
I mean,
Kate really likes
the
it.
secret backstory to this is that I love ancient Egypt and like grew up like just
Yeah.
just gorging myself on it. So then anything and everything about it, I was like, yeah. And then the idea of just mummies attacking, I was like,
just like pouring like rain from the ceiling, right? Just like heaping up in big piles.
Yeah.
Like, oh
I was
god,
just
all
about
the
it.
mummies.
Shit,
Oh, he's coming.
he's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
He's coming.
So mortal as sand or stone is any impediment.
It was really hard finding like music for these episodes because it goes
Oh, yeah.
between like frantic like running and then like paused like dramatic moments like this. So it was like kind of hard to find things. And in general, and I wanted them to sound like deserty.
Yeah, so it's that's a really good point.
Would you get a
It has to be deserty, and in this episode in particular, it has to have this like consistent rhythm. Like you talked about drums, but I wanted drums and drums and drums for like the footfalls.
Yeah.
I think you did a great job, and I think you have this ability to constantly find like public domain.
Well, you found
Creative
some of like
Commons
these last
music.
battle music too, though, because I could not
That's true.
find the free.
You
drums.
had gone through, you had done so much.
90
right? Like,
pages of free music archive to just find
Right,
drums.
crazy. Yeah, I think we ended up going to YouTube. There's a couple of people that do like copyright free
Yeah.
music on YouTube.
Yeah.
But, yeah, because you had like plumbed the depths. You had scraped everything off the bottom of the free music archive barrel, right?
And I reused a lot of songs too from season 1. So if you listen closely and are crazy, you might notice.
But that narratively makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Alan has a playlist,
Yeah.
right? He has a D&D playlist.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he reuse stuff? Get ready for season 3 when you got to do it all over.
Yeah. Well, I'll have the editor at that point, and then I'll just lord over them and be like, "This
Uh-huh.
needs to be better. Just make it better." And they'll be like, "Oh,
Thorvar goes left. Well,
Right.
you guys
Here
will
and there,
hear the
more
band.
drums.
Whichever way the party goes, he goes the other way.
Dude, this is not the time to
Yeah, here we
fuck
go.
around. The monster's right there.
Thorvar goes left.
Thorvar goes left. I remember Elisa being like, "That's a cool title," and we ended up using it as the little like plug on the bottom, like the little show description, episode description, as Thorvar goes left. They're trying to be very mysterious with those, right?
Yeah, we're also like taking a political stance on Thorvar.
Yeah. Right, Thorvar is to the left of the party on most issues. Yeah.
What a liberal.
I know, right? He's a very progressive thinker, is Thorvar.
Damn it, I don't know. You may be
Yeah, I don't know if he's great for women's rights though.
11.
No. No, he's
Not-
a fake.
not the
He's not a
best.
feminist.
Yeah. Because the dwarven culture is very different, you know.
Yeah. So.
There he goes.
This hallway stretches past the edge of your.
You can, yeah, look at all the spot, like the hamburger poof is getting.
Yeah, it's back there. It's looking yum yum.
Amhotep.
It is looking yum yum.
Section is presented.
It's just dusty ass, gross thrift store hamburger poof. Is it a thrift store? Didn't you buy it at like?
No, Ross dressed for less.
Are you actually?
Yeah, okay.
It was that
Sponsored
or
by
a
Ross Dress for
donut.
Less.
There was like a big pink like
Yeah, that's true.
Simpsons donut, and I was like hamburger. It'd be less
Hamburger is better. Yeah.
crazy.
Have I ever told you about the time that I fucked a princess?
Well, I definitely hear that, right?
You definitely do.
Yeah.
So does the Thomhotep.
Oh shit.
The profane beast
Oh,
lives
shit.
in the moment at the intersection. Its rampage momentarily interrupted. For a moment, all the crashing chaos quiets, save for the muffled thuds of distant
This is me as a DM though too. If I get a whiff of player blood, like if I get a whiff of like this person might die, I'm going for it. I want that kill.
Yeah.
Yes.
There he goes, right? Like I'm much more likely to kill Thorvar, so I'm gonna take it. But narratively, right? Like he's also playing into what the character wants. It's not like he's just I'm gonna mercilessly hunt you down.
Yeah. I'm mad about what you
know.
did earlier, so I'm gonna come
Yeah,
after you and no one
and
else.
that's a good point. Like it doesn't feel punitive, I guess. I guess mostly because Jordan asks for it, I suppose. But I didn't even think about that context. That like maybe Alan's a little bit like, yeah, you like this? Fuck you. Here goes your dwarf character. Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't
That's
think
his secret
Thorvar's
master
gonna
manipulator.
abandon his brother like that. I think he's gonna try to run and rescue him.
And then here we have Thorvek role-playing, right? Like
Oh, Thorvek's
refusing to help the
right?
party
That's fair.
go forward because he doesn't want to leave his brother behind.
Yeah.
And that was the big thing too about, and we'll talk about this when we get there in 12, but like Sam's journey not only as a person who like is interested in roleplay, but Thorvek's journey as being a one-dimensional character into a three-dimensional character, right? That was very important to me.
This creates his dramatic backstory.
Exactly, yeah. That he didn't really have one before. He doesn't come in with any history or anything. He's just following Thorvar around, and that we find his history, which I think in general is a good role playing tip. That like you can obviously come in with your backstory, but like it's more effective generally to be shaped by the events of the campaign than it is to like have something happen off screen and then tell the party this is this cool thing that happened to me. The rest of the party will resonate. Those events will resonate with the rest of the party more if they saw them happen, right?
That makes sense.
It doesn't always work that way, but if you can use it, if you can be motivated by like campaign action, I think that's always better than backstory.
Footsteps grow louder and louder until eventually, as it crosses into your space, you are thrown
Splat.
to your feet. You roll onto your back and look up, and you see another paw hanging in the air. Heartbeats away.
Way up.
Right. His last words.
Can I get a swing at the fucker before I'm squashed?
It's such a Steven
Let's get
thing.
a swing at the fucker. Yeah.
Daddy needs a new story.
Yeah, I debated giving him a crit here, but it was just a little too neat, you know.
Yeah. So
It's not a crit.
Steven kept accidentally saying, "Did I ever tell you about the
Oh,
time I
yes.
fucked a Trask?"
He
Instead
did
of
say
killed
that.
a Trask.
His other joke, the one that got me, was that he would reference. I think at one point he says the word monster, like running from the monster or
Yeah.
the monster catches, and he kept saying Minkster. Oh no, the terrible Minkster. And then he would look at me,
Ferocious Minkster.
the ferocious Minkster. And then I was supposed to like stay in character because it was my coverage, so like you didn't see him. His audio wasn't important, so he kept saying Minkster, and I got so mad.
Yeah. Minkster was a
Not because like
big one.
how dare you, but like because I kept breaking. Like
Yeah.
it was so funny. I just kept laughing at Minkster.
Minkster was a big one that day, and then also just him earnestly accidentally be like, "Did I tell you about the time I fucked at the Trask?" Wait, no.
Fuck the Tarask.
No, it was
Oh
pretty-
shit.
That was pretty good. I'd be so mad about it.
Oh my god. I fucked a Tarask.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the math again. Comes out of 76. That's so many trombones. If you hit,
It's
yeah,
96.
You're struggling in Nine Roads' grip when you
It's
hear
96?
Just the math
Oh,
there.
I thought it was 76. It looked
But
like
it was going to be a good joke, though. I could tell.
silence.
No, it wasn't. Really was not. It was an obscure Music Man reference.
I got it, though, because it has
I think
trombones
we're
in
all
it.
okay
So I know.
to avoid
I know.
that.
I like trombone humor.
At this point,
But it's not even really trombone humor. It just uses the word. I guess trombone in and of itself is humorous.
Yeah.
It's a funny word. Trombone. This is about experience points.
Does it turn and come after us?
Will actually drop out of initiative as you see it.
Yeah, that was something that she came up with too. That like I didn't really think about in the context of the writing. We address it more again in 12, but Lisa a couple of times asked, sort of pointed to like, is there any hope of him coming back, or could we rescue him out of the rubble, or like like trying to dangle like. No, oh, he's obliterated. Oh no, like she's like not really eager to bring Thorvar back. I
Well,
think it's funny. Ah, what a tragedy.
I guess.
Oh no. Yeah.
He fully has the popcorn by him now. I love it.
Yeah, it's
forgot
his
about
fault. Uh-huh.
Dead.
I mean, we could try to resurrect
Dead.
him, but we would need his remains, and it seems like they're.
Well, here it is,
It's
yeah.
rubble. Plus, I don't know how resurrection works in this world. So.
Guess I'll have to find out. For the time being, though,
Shit.
yes.
Shit.
I should have added like a drum hit reverb when you took that token.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so too.
And then like
I like that.
some elven lady cry singing.
Yeah,
Would've
it's
been
Peter
appropriate.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Super high soprano.
Oh, he
Lisa
does get
Gerard
one.
shit. Oh yeah, he does. He gets this one. That's right. Oh, cause I forgot Sam has the episode 12 one too. He has the
Yeah.
last line.
He does.
Right? Yeah. Sam has 3 of them, I think.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Cool. That's episode 11. Great. What was the last character you had in the doobly doo that died, and how did they die? Was it a cool epic death? Was it like an ignominious defeat? Was it like an embarrassing death? What about you, Kate? When was your most recent character death?
Last year, I think. Still in Moon Crash. Did
Uh,
I technically die? I mean, I was, and then she warlorded me up, right? Is that what happened? Hallie did?
I think Jeremy died before that, though.
Oh, really? Yay!
I think Jeremy died
yeah,
before
you
that.
might be right.
I think it's Jeremy. Yeah.
Jeremy.
Jeremy. There's this horrible.
I always die and stuff.
Fungus. You die a lot. Yeah, you died a couple times in Moon Crash. Yeah, great. Thanks for watching episode 11. I think we only have one episode left. Well, except for the secret episode 13.
Yeah,
But
if you're not
yeah.
like a patron at the highest tier,
you're
then,
not a patron.
even,
At the at the secret tier, then you don't get
you
it.
just have to guess what that.
I was gonna
amount
say
is.
like, right, and I was gonna say because like Fawn is giving so much, like why wouldn't he have seen it? But like it's a secret amount. Like even if you give past that, you have to give it a very particular number. It's 69. Then you won't get to see the 13th episode of the secret.
It's the sum of all of the alphabet letters that spell out hippopotamus combined.
Yeah. it's like insanely specific. Yeah. Great. If you become a patron, then we will show you the 13th episode, but only if you give her the secret amount.
Yeah.
Great. Let's do it. Episode 12.
Anyway, here's this.
Well, we made this thing. I don't know if you guys want to see it.
Can I get one?
So some falling action, right? They escape the compound. I want to try to move through this as quick as possible, but it is kind of necessary. I guess we could have done like a time jump. So Stephen falling asleep is a reference to him falling asleep. Him pretending to be dead is a reference to Cody. You guys know Cody Bushy, who plays Greg in season 1. When his character died, which was the first time he had ever had a character die in like our group party and the Moon Crash
Oh,
party.
it's so epic.
He
Smashes his
yeah,
face.
he like laid down and put his face like flat on the carpet and just lied there like he was a corpse for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like didn't move, didn't say anything, just was dead.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually fell asleep.
No.
But he was just face plant a body lying there. So that was back when we played on the floor.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make a reference to that, obviously, here with Jordan. It didn't quite work, like, camera-wise to have him be faceplant, but the notion that he's pretending to be dead and then, like, legitimately falls asleep because he's, like, 7 beers in,
Yeah.
like, made sense to me. Yeah. And he pops in one time, right, to have his one line to confirm he's still awake. That way, when he actually does fall asleep, it's more distinct.
Yeah. Sam's sketching stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's got all these tasty ideas in his brain.
And this brown pound. Because he had to draw a Thaummotep, right? He hadn't drawn Sense, so he had to make sure that he squeezes that in.
Yeah.
Night hangs like a heavy blanket over the dream, cold, dark, and alone. There's nothing but windswept sand in every direction. The night stars glitter overhead. You've escaped. What do you do?
Look around.
Look around. Look around.
You're bad, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Still praying for a bit?
Oh shit. I noticed more continuity errors.
Oh no, there was one I saw earlier, but didn't want to draw attention to it. I'm sure you're aware of it. Like, I don't think it's the kind of thing that you would not be aware
Yeah.
of. But
There's some that I'm like,
I'm not.
eh.
Yeah.
Then when I
and that's
catch
the thing.
new ones, I'm like, fuck. If I didn't know about you, I'm mad at you.
Uh-huh. So this is kind of like moment of indecision. It's like, where do we go from here? Like, and I think this is a very truism to D&D too. That, like, there's that moment like right before the end of the session where you're like, okay, are we done? Like, I'm confused as what's happening. But like, Alan's kind of waiting to spring his last little moment. As they're debating like, how do we travel and like, can we hunt? And like, it seems like a weird place to end.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
Just waiting.
mhm,
God.
this is an asshole. This is a proper asshole.
Even through the sand,
Uh-oh.
feel the ground starting to rumble. Louder and louder, like something's coming.
Oh, we gotta get out of here.
I can't do it.
Approximately 1,000 feet to the west, the sand, in a massive radius,
Here he comes. Here comes the Minkster.
struggling out of the sand, first pulling its head, then its shoulder, and its other shoulder comes that apocalyptic behemoth, a Thaummotep. Right now, it's mostly concerned with pulling itself from its sunken tomb. This takes several minutes.
It's weird to watch me with no sound. It's like, out of context, it's just the strangest series of gestures of like. There's a lot. Like, what am I doing?
Even -1, mine's okay.
Very
Actually,
weird.
it's 14 on stealth.
You
The moment
freak.
it starts to emerge from the sand,
I am a freak.
Shara and Korvac scramble.
And I did it all to myself.
Maybe you're just
Yeah.
dumbstruck.
It's all my fault.
Yeah. Get over here.
Get over here. And a little bit of his accent in there,
Yeah,
right? Like,
just tasting
just a
it.
taste. There's a little taste of accent.
It spends several moments pulling its gargantuan form.
Why did I write so many
enormous
words?
head,
There's so many
I don't
words
know,
in this
yeah.
show.
crocodile tail out.
I think that like next season, Alan should just play a mute character.
Yeah. That's interesting. All the NPCs are mute or whatever. Yeah.
Yep, this is it.
It's been a great campaign, guys.
To your relief.
Wait, where's it going though, Kate? It's not going after them?
It's probably just gonna jump in the ocean because it understands that it shouldn't exist.
Because it's a disgusting hippo face. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like at that point they'd be like, yeah, he's a racist. He hates hippos.
Yeah,
so we don't need
no
to
one
keep
cares
reporting on
about
this. Yeah. Or no one cares about hippos. A species
We've been
is, I guess,
reporting
technically is the
ourselves
term.
to the media.
Yeah, right, and they're not publishing the stories. Hey, it's the screen. We never get to see
Hey.
that screen.
You were
Still have it.
4 days into the journey.
Still worked real hard on it.
Still have it in my car.
And so
In my car. Yeah, the Palm Lands is actually a setting I made a long time ago for another campaign, and then just resurrected here for this because it seems to fit.
is that where it's headed?
Oh no. Where's it going? Yeah, and so we have a moment here where he's about to
He
end.
doesn't get to be the
Korvac
badass.
will, like,
Uh-huh.
lead,
Well, that's
right?
good, right? He tries to.
Sam
He
gets
learns.
his badass moment.
Mm-hmm.
He'll drop to one knee and he'll grab his horse.
Look at rack focus.
Yeah, I was gonna say we did a push in here, right? Yeah, which is pretty rare, I think, in XP.
Yeah, there's only one in season 1, and there's one
Yeah, it's
earlier
the-
when we're focusing and during the break, and we're like, or the first episode or whatever on Alan.
Yeah.
Little smile.
Oh, I love Paul. What a good boy. What a cutie.
What a cutie boy.
Underscored by each thunder.
So then he supplements it, right? Like, I still want to do the thing I want to do, but you and I can merge our ideas into the final beat of the session. Yeah. Yeah, and now we're back into handheld.
Really?
Yeah.
Handheld always just feels weird then later. It's hard to
Right.
make it like a cinematic in a way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
New players in.
I think it gives it a lot of good energy. I always like that transition when you realize, like, oh, we've been static for so long, right? To suddenly have this
Yeah, does it always get that epic? Like,
sort of roving camera.
Sometimes. Not really.
That has got to be the stupidest thing that's ever done.
We had to. We had to put it in there. So, like, part of that joke, too, is that we realized, like, really in season 1, we should have had a third hit on that joke. That, like, we have 2 jokes about it, and that really towards the end, you could have made a similar joke. And so we thought, like, well, what if we did it? What if we really played the long game and splashed it into season 2
Yeah.
for a half a second? Yeah. Which I like a lot.
she's not sorry.
And sorry.
Not at all. No. Sorry, your
Oh
character.
boy, yeah, what a bummer. Huh?
What a big bum
I'm sure
bum.
you've heard that Creature is stomping off to civilization.
So yeah, then the structure for kind of the last half of this episode then becomes this this sort of long running discussion about what do they do, right? That, like, the conceit that's how you can always tell you hooked players to the session, I feel. And that doesn't always happen, but when they spend the time when when they can finally stop talking about D&D, just talking about D&D again, right? Like, they're sort of freed from the game, and yet they're still discussing it.
It's really up to you.
And that's a very early campaign thing for sure. I remember in Mooncrash we did that a lot in the first game that you and I played together. Like, we would end and then we would just, like, all go to Taco Bell and just, like, continue to talk about
Yeah.
what happened and what's going to happen next time. And, like, yeah.
He fooked a prince.
That's one of the best feelings in the world, I think.
No, I don't think you can beat that death in terms of cool factor.
My mom was always worried for a while. She was worried about Dungeons and Dragons and like what that meant because dragons or dungeons or the demons. So I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
it's literally just like hanging out in a room with people and imagining scenarios together for 3 hours. Like,
Right,
it's
yeah,
like the
uh-huh.
safest you can be. So it's like, I don't know.
Playing
This is like
make-believe, yeah,
reminiscent
right.
of that. Or it's just like I'm just talking to them about like, you know, like a non-Tarrasque monster that how are we gonna handle this? Like,
Even though we
Right, yeah.
yeah.
Like, you could be doing drugs and,
Yeah,
like, going
but I'm
out
not.
and getting in
I'm
real
talking
trouble.
about-
No.
fantasy
Unicorns?
stuff.
Yeah, uh-huh. Sitting in a room pretending to be an elf, yeah.
We have to do something.
We're responsible for
Oh yeah, I love the secret background conversation of Jordan on the phone.
Except for that part
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's
uh-huh.
Like, it's fun.
Oh, that's
Open
right.
the
I
door
forgot all
and
about
we
Pete's
awaken
Patrol.
the ancient evil
Yeah.
From whence it slumbered.
That's what Wayfinder was after.
We don't know that for sure.
That's what the Anshani said.
They're hella trustworthy.
You're the one who attacked them.
And wants to play one. Regardless of what
Oh,
Wayfinder
they're so
was,
cute.
it was us who actually.
Did you say 613?
Did you say 613?
I'm saying that
Yeah,
whether or
no,
not we had
Yeah, right, because it's they get the address wrong.
Sorry. I don't know what happened.
What was the whole thing about the
Try that. Try
stars?
613.
So silly.
What was it that Leon Shani said about it's?
Okay, but let's just finish the episode so that we can talk about the credits.
whether or not someone had opened the doors.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm just gonna let you talk about the credits. I hate
them.
I'm just gonna let you.
So someone
You
would
just,
have
like,
to know
shit on the
this
credits.
was the day.
You demand them every season, but
Yeah.
then, like, hate them and wish you didn't.
I
have
spend
to
the
do them.
most time on the credits. Everything else, who gives a
You know
shit?
what?
Eh.
Frankly,
Right.
I
Credits,
have
though.
enough
Really
information
important.
to make any
Credits.
real claims about it anyway.
I can agree with that.
So that has to be our first priority.
Maybe that's a good reason for my new character to join. Unless
And again, this is another, like, let's hear some tantalizing hints about the future of the campaign that you'll never see.
What do you guys think? I hope we don't have to do any flashbacks to this campaign because that'll be so hard to do.
I don't imagine, knowing what we know, what Kate and I know, and you don't know about.
Unless
season
you're the
three, I
secret
don't think-
donator at
Yeah,
the hippopotamus
a
level.
donator, the donator. It's me, the donator.
At the hippopotamus
Um,
level, then you know.
Yeah, uh-huh.
We've-
the hippopotamus
we've had
tier, which
Conversations
is negative. We give you money. But yeah, knowing what we know about season 3 that you guys don't know, I don't think that's the structure of the flashbacks.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Oh, I have ideas I gotta talk to you about later too.
Great.
Not about
Cool. I
XP,
wanna
just
hear them.
ideas.
Just unrelated business proposals.
Yeah, I got a Shark Tank you a
Entertainment
minute.
720. Yeah. Great.
This
Hey,
this
it's a
was
little
one
sh-
of the last things we shot actually.
Yeah.
This was the thing that
Totally
was
a
a
pickup.
week before
Thing I do, I can't remember.
we released.
This is actually really
No, it was
fun.
like 2 weeks before. I think we had to release like the last episodes. We shot this in a completely different location. Paul's hands though,
Uh-huh.
he kept his hands the same,
Yeah. And his
and he
shirt.
kept his
yeah.
shirt. Good for him. Good thing he did that.
Good.
But it's
Good boy.
It's completely. But these are drawn by our good friend.
Something about
Yeah. His name is Herm on Twitter. I would say his name. I don't want to like out the guy if he doesn't want his real name out
Yeah,
there. But
that's
yeah,
fine.
he's been a patron of ours for a long time. He was not patron. He's been a friend and a fan. He's not actually a patron. But he was the first person to ever draw any XP fan art. He drew Lady Celeste after season 1. I think he also did a Fletch, but we wanted somebody who had kind of a. We have another patron named Neve who does a lot of artwork for us, but she has kind of a different style. We wanted kind of a chunkier, like sort of masculine hand. We thought Herm would be a good fit for that. All right, kind of spot. The studio audience goes nuts. Yeah.
Kicking bottles and stuff. Oh, we had to cut out your shameless plug for Obsidian Portal as well.
Yeah, there was this really unnecessary, like, extended sequence of me explaining what Obsidian Portal is. And, like, I even reached out to them. Well, not really. I made, like, a joke on Twitter. I was like, hey, we can get a sponsorship. And they talked to me for a little bit, and then they just never replied. And so I was like, oh, okay, I guess you don't want to sponsor Experience Points.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
But, like, and then I'm like, I don't feel bad about cutting it. Screw them. I love their service. It's a great website. Nothing against Obsidian Portal. But, like, yeah, they did not get back to us. It's just fine. We
But that's
pretty
not why
small.
we cut their whole spiel. Like we just.
No, it was just way too long.
But-
The pacing was bad. Yeah, I don't know why it's there.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Who dat?
Which, of course, is a reference to the first season when he's Geekachu in her phone.
the choice do we have? Let all those innocent people die? Gotta find a way to beat it
Well,
there.
then that's gotta be next time. Us racing across the desert to get to the city first.
Speaking of which, when is next time?
Good point. Hey, Alan. what can we
Answer
do
the
for you?
question, Alan. So when it comes to these credits, I always feel like I never have enough coverage. But that's fine. Now it feels weird because you're not saying anything. This was Dice Day, also, that we shot these. And we basically put everything on the counter. And then we're just like, hey, Adam, film a bunch of shit. And or film these clusters of things. And we had our fishpole light that we used for most of the series that we would just swing back and forth to get like kind of the moving light effect. And yeah, that was kind of basically.
I think a lot of it was you with direction though, like we should have the candle go out, or like we're about to see the dial. Did we already see it?
We saw it once,
Moving?
but I think it comes
Okay.
back. Yeah, it was just like
Yeah.
what pieces can we move that isn't like that could just be moving on their own, like the dial.
Yeah, there it is. And so a lot of that was either you or me, like crouching just out of frame,
Yeah.
like moving things. Like I remember I picked up the beer bottle for Jordan's
Yeah.
thing, right? Like to have a little bit of sense of motion.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that one.
like it's still being messed with, but every
Right,
time
but,
I'm just like,
maybe
God,
the,
I wish
maybe
there
the
was
game
more.
is going on, but we're just not seeing the people
Yeah.
like, playing it.
But it's like
that.
every single tiny piece of whatever we could find to just like give us stuff for it.
Right.
I don't know. I like Credits Day. I think it's
Oh
fun.
yeah, they're cool. Real quick shout out to all of our patrons, right?
Yeah,
like we
thanks,
want to put
guys.
everybody's name in the credits. Thanks so much for making the show possible.
And I never get
Oh my
sick of
gosh, that's it. Oh wait, it's not it.
Oh, I quit it. Oops.
Oops.
Okay, so the Pizza Patrol. Do you want to talk about this idea for this callback?
Yeah, it was just like in my head it was like analogous to Erica's little cameo in
Yeah.
in season 1. It was just like a last minute like, wouldn't it be kind of funny if we did this?
Yeah.
And it was just, I mean, it's a blatant Avengers reference, right? Like, it was just one of those things where we had written in the idea that, like, another thing that can go wrong in the session is that they order food, but it never arrives.
Yeah, we didn't want to have to do food continuity again. That sucked.
Exactly. But we still wanted to have that idea,
Yeah.
and so we thought it's kind of funny if it just, through some happenstance, it never shows up until the very end of the session, and then they sit and they eat presumably pretty cold pizza.
Yeah. And don't say
And of course,
anything.
and don't say anything,
Yeah.
right? They're tired and they had this big long game, and yeah, it's just a cute little Avengers reference,
Yeah.
and people seem to like it. Especially, we were very happy because people really latched onto the idea of like hashtag Where's the pizza,
Yeah.
and like it was, like trying to figure it out, and so that made it like that payoff really
Yeah.
good. If no one had cared, it would have just been like, okay, who
Yeah.
gives a shit? With the fan base, in the way that they got really obsessed with Trevor and how Trevor died, which he didn't. He just went to grad school. That's what they call it. He went to a grad school upstate. But we're happy that people really latched onto the pizza joke,
Yeah.
because then it made that little.
It was
reference
hard
at
to
the
like
end.
sit on that payoff and the D12.
And the D12,
payoff
yeah,
for
because
so
everyone was mad, and like I specifically didn't want to comment on it at all. I would like posts about it, but I would never comment or like acknowledge it. I honestly, we kind of wanted people to think it was a mistake
Yeah.
that we had made, and then I liked the idea of no one did, of course, because our community is way too good. But I liked the idea of like provoking angry fanboy rage about it, which nobody did because everyone's very nice, right? Like in our community. But yeah, that was a tough one to not talk about. And Pizza Patrol too.
Yeah. But that's actually, I think, Big Mama's and Papa's Pizza, because they had the colored boxes that we needed.
Uh-huh.
And that was our lunch that day. So we're just like, okay, we're going to roll on you eating pizza for a minute, and then
Eat
we'll
the rest of
actually
the
just
pizza.
eat
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Yeah.
That was a fun day. Yeah, great. That's the end of season 2, Kate.
That's it.
Wow. There's a funny thing that happens with this show where it takes so much time and effort and energy to make, and years and work and money and all this stuff, and then like you can sit down and watch it in like an afternoon. That's true of like feature films,
Yeah.
right? True, but like it feels weird to be like, cool, we watched it all. That was
Wow.
3 years of our life.
So much content, such little output.
So little time. Yeah. What kind of food do you guys like to eat at your sessions? Comment below. What was your favorite? Okay, this is better. Scrap that idea.
No,
Don't-
I
don't
want to
hear-
know that. What's your
If you
favorite
post
pizza?
that, I'm gonna delete the comment. I don't care.
Then
I'm
message
furious
me
about
your
this.
favorite pizza kind. I really care and
Great.
I want to know.
She likes pizza. What was your favorite moment in season 2? Now that you've seen the whole thing again, what was your favorite line or character moment or scene or idea or whatever? What is your favorite thing about season 2? And then we'll tell you our favorite thing about you.
Oh.
Think about that. What about you, Kate? What's your favorite moment or scene or concept?
Honestly,
Joke.
like in the smallest way, my favorite moment is when Steven says, "At least I wasn't raging," and Paul's genuine reaction to
His
it.
actual laugh
just-
is very good.
Like,
It's very
I love
good.
that moment.
Yeah, that's a really
In
good
the
one.
smallest of moments, that's my favorite.
Yeah, right. Because I think
moment.
that's what favorite means. It's like it's not necessarily the best moment, but it's the thing that will always bring you joy. When you see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know if I have one. I don't think I like experience points very much.
Yeah.
Is that like a controversial opinion to say like?
No, you can say whatever you want, just don't talk about hippos anymore.
I bounced hard off of it. Like I watched it and I was like, I don't know.
Ugh.
It's not for me. It's cool that other people.
This
like
is
it.
what we've been making. Oh boy.
Oh boy. I don't know. That's tough. I selfishly, this is like more of an overarching thing. I think that I really like how the first season obviously establishes the theme and establishes the structure and like has a narrative arc in the sense of Mackenzie. But I think that season 2 is much denser and full of more ideas and like has a much clearer like flow and from like beginning to end. And your characters grow and they learn things and things change. And like my favorite thing has been people's response to it and saying like, this resonates with me more than the first season did because everyone's been there. Everyone knows the awkward. Everyone knows what it's like to try to play with strangers. Like the fact that people resonated with it is probably the thing that is my favorite, like overall. But that feels like a big snooty answer as opposed to like, I like this moment. Because there's tons of little moments like that. Like I was thinking about all 12 of Elise's expressions in the space of a second, right? Like that's a pretty good one too. But yeah, I just like that people responded to it, and that's what makes me happy as a creator.
Yeah, I mean, as a creator, I like that it feels better. Like, we did season 1, and we did it, and that was a great season, and I'm very proud of that season because we had never done that. So season 2 was like, okay, but let's make it even better.
Let's
and
top
let's
it.
tighten it
Yeah,
up and let's up the production value, which is thanks to our patrons. And let's really work towards giving the best thing that we can give for people to relate to and really latch on to. And I think we did that. So
I think we did too. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming out and watching these commentaries, guys. We'll be back soon with more content for you to check out. But until then, if you like Experience Points, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/xpwebseries. You want to become a patron, specifically at the Secret Hippopotamus level. You'll get to see our 13th secret episode that nobody else got to see.
Yeah.
But actually, there's a lot of cool perks and things, and we have cool podcasts you can listen to. We got all kinds of stuff coming down the pipe, so go check it out. But thanks for tuning in with us and watching this.
Yeah.
We were so happy to have you.
Yeah.
Kate, what are you going to go do now with your free time?
Laundry.
Oh, great. Yeah. I'm going to do laundry too today, actually.
Hey.
We're going to go do your laundry. Comment in the doobly-doo if you're going to do your laundry today.
Yeah. Send us quarters.
We broke.
Yeah.
Go to Patreon and contribute some quarters to help us do laundry.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, everybody. See you later.